We're recording.
Boom.
Nice. All right. Well, thanks for doing the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just keep this one casual.
Perfect. I like it. Thanks for having me.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Welcome to the, we call it the JDC.
That's good.
The Jelliefish Distribution Center. It's just silly.
So speaking of it, since we're already here, we're in the room. What's your plans for this place?
So I think a lot of people think we're just going to have like a bunch of customers come on in here. It's probably not going to be as much that. It's more to have a place for, team meetings, with the Jelly Squad. If customers do want to come here, that's fine. But really overall, kind of doing this, podcasting in our other room over there, setting up our tables, being able to do mixes so we can kind of showcase to our future couples, clients, anybody really that we are capable of mixing, blending, doing all that stuff for social media. So came across this space and couldn't turn it down. So yeah,
it's a fantastic space.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
You're good.
So Jelliefish Productions.
Yes, sir.
How long you been in business?
We have passed 4 years officially just a couple months ago. So I went full time 4 years with Jelliefish. I've been doing DJing and production for probably like 12 years now, 12, 13, something like that. So, but yeah, having my own company, we just passed 4 years. So pretty proud.
Yeah, that is something to be proud of. It's not easy being a business owner.
Yeah.
But it's the most rewarding thing on top of that.
It really is, man. It really is. Because it's like, you think when you're doing it, as you know, you think you're going to be, I'm going to have so much time and I'm going to just really enjoy life. Man, I fucking work more now than I ever have in my entire life. But I'm not complaining. It's just, it's a lot of work to get it to where people see like the glitz and glamour. They don't know about the dirt and the grit and all that to make it happen and make it possible. So
yeah, my son's 5 and he's always like, Daddy, you're always working.
Right.
Like, cause he sees it we're sitting in the car line at school editing.
Yep.
Editing as soon as we get home, editing in bed when we're going to bed at night.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, but I get to be home with you.
Right.
My last job, we worked mandatory 12s.
Oof.
And it was rotating shifts. So we would do midnights one week, then we'd do day shift the next week, 12 a.m. to 12 p.m., 12 p.m. to 12 a.m.
Sheesh.
And it was like, I was fucking miserable.
Yeah.
I hated that shit.
Yeah.
And I was management, so I was supposed to be on like the good side of it.
Nope.
And I fucking hated every second of it.
It's the worst, actually, when you're management with somebody else,
Oh, it is. And you just get, it's funny, you get treated like you don't know shit from people who actually don't know shit.
Yeah.
Because it's always buddies and shit that move up and like you just see it. And like we had, he was a really nice guy, but he was honestly probably the worst manager I ever had. Super nice, but was just like, he was just somebody who you could tell didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He was drowning. Right. He was drowning hard in a huge corporation. So it was like, it was just fucking miserable.
It's crazy how that works too with like some like worldwide, companies, Fortune 500 companies, right? And then you'll work for maybe like a small company. They got it more figured out than that Fortune. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's weird how that works out. 'Cause again, like the glitz and glamour sometimes isn't all what it cracks up to be. Because I've worked with people in small businesses that I respect more than I ever have working for like a really, really big organization. Yep. Or like personally, I know for me, the people that I worked with that I respected the most are the people that could actually do the job better than me. Yep. You know what I mean? And then teach me on top of it, instead of just the guys who, when I worked in radio, like the general manager couldn't even turn off the fucking alarm. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like, or he would be like, hey, I need to do a spot. Can you hit record for me? I'm like, are you fucking serious? It's the mouse. You hit fucking record. Like, why are you making 6 figures? What's going on here?
Yeah, why am I making what I'm making? And the thing is like, I feel like with corporation, it almost like not even to get political, and we'll definitely move away from this.
Sure.
But I feel like it's like the same thing with like government.
Yeah.
You just get too big.
Yeah.
And the idea is to always add more management.
Yeah.
And it just never works out.
It's like the Ford way, which is really the wrong way, even though they brought like, Ford's like brought the production line and we needed that. Like, people need jobs, obviously. And that's honorable fucking work that keeps us going, no question. But you get to a point, like you said, Brandon, where like you get too big, you lose the intimacy of being a great company because it's a bunch of paper pushers. Yep. And then people looking after their own bags.
And it's like watered down information on top of information constantly.
Yeah, I hate that. That's why I never want, everybody's always like, they kind of told me when I first started Jelliefish, man, Shawn, I can see you in an office with like 25, 30 employees. And I was like, no. That's not my goal. Like, it never has been my goal either. Where we're at now, I never would have imagined, you know, but I'm right at that sweet spot right now.
Yep.
If we find good people to work with, great. If not, we're fine. I don't need to be, you know, a Fortune 500 company.
No, and the thing is, you can keep making more and more money staying small.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's not even like money is obviously the end goal.
Of course.
But it's like, it's about still enjoying it. Because you get too big, it's like, how can you enjoy it without becoming that like CEO that's just not present?
Yep.
Never there.
Yeah.
Doesn't give a fuck anymore. He's just spending the company money till he can find that right buyer to buy the company.
Yep. Yeah. No, it sucks. Like, I've never appreciated that at all. No. You know, I've never liked that, and I'm never going to be that. And it's like when I hire somebody new for Jelliefish or whatnot, like I tell them, like, hey, you know, I'm not the guy that's going to be sitting on the couch or hanging out in the boat just going, hey, make me money. Right. I'm going to be the one working probably more than you.
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
You know, I want to get to a point where maybe I'm not working as much, but I'm definitely probably going to be working more than you. Yeah. You know, because I'm the guy and this runs through me, but I need you for us as a team to make this work together. So that's just kind of like overall my motto. I never thought that was like such an allure. Was to like tell people what to do and go clean my carpets, and that's not me.
No, because I'm a fucking idiot. So I'm like, who am I to tell people what to do? And I felt that way in management a lot too. I was like, man, I'm probably not the guy to tell these guys what to do.
I know.
Like, I just don't feel like. Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like as humans, we hate being told what to do anyway.
True. So. Yeah, that's why I never even like being called a boss. You know, even this past weekend, my one guy was like, yeah, it's my boss. Tell him I did a good job tonight. And I'm like, man, I am, but it's like,
I don't want to be called.
Yeah, we're coworkers, you know, like you're my colleague, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you do get money from me because of our company, but I don't view it that way. Right. But I think that's why our company is kind of looked at really well. Yep. Because we're not pretentious, we're not cocky, we're just confident, you know?
Yep.
So, yeah.
I mean, cocky and confident are borderline.
A little bit.
You have to be. You know what? I do think there's actually, like, in the wedding business, I'm starting to notice, like, especially when you start to get in a little bit of that higher end market.
Yeah.
There's an attraction to cocky vendors or confident vendors, like because when you are spending that kind of money, you want to know this person's capable of doing what you want. So it's like a lot of your feed and stuff I see where you're just like kind of boasting about what's going on. And I'm like, good, you should.
Fuck yeah.
You should blow that shit up. When you get those kind of reviews, when you get couples that are like, hey, we want to fire our current and hire you, like
dude, that really happened.
That's good shit, though. You know what I mean? And that's the goal. But that also means you're doing something better than the competition. Yeah,
and it's like crazy because I'll have that, or even like, you know, one of my main guys for Jelliefish, he was like, man, you post a lot of reviews. I'm like, fuck yeah, why not? You know, like no one else is gonna look out for me but me. And I'm not trying to, and this maybe people perceive it this way, and that's fine. Like perception's different, and working in radio, it don't matter what you said. Someone's going to love you. Someone's going to hate you, whatever. Absolutely. So same thing with like posting on social media for whatever. Someone's going to be like, oh, fuck that guy. That guy's full of himself. And they'll be like, oh, good for him. Mentally, when I go to post that, I'm never thinking, yeah, I'm trying to show everybody I'm the best. No, I'm just trying to show what we've done recently. Like, this is real. Like, this really fucking happened. I didn't put somebody up to this. I didn't tell somebody to say this. This actually fucking happened, and I think that's cool.
Yeah, no, and you know what? I was one that never... I would get reviews, but I never posted any of them. And because of you seeing your reviews all the time, I was like, well, maybe I should actually start like sending out forms for reviews and stuff and actually like post some of that shit.
Blow it up.
Because I mean that's just like basic psychology too. That's that social proof.
Yeah. It's like subliminal branding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you just constantly, because I definitely, because a lot of the people that I have like on my personal socials, they might just be locally around here, and they probably can't afford our prices.
Yeah,
that's okay though. You know, I still want the message to be out. Like, this is Jelliefish, stinging hits. You know, these are the moments you deserve.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And they might have a friend that can afford your prices.
Totally.
Yeah, in this area, that was probably the hardest thing. It was like when we raised our prices at first, I was a little nervous about that because I was like, man, in our area, it's tough to do that.
Sure.
Especially once you get to a certain point. Yeah. But then I actually felt like we started booking more.
Okay.
But it was people coming in.
Yeah.
To do destination weddings, like, because you know I guess we kind of have that allure.
Yeah.
In some of our
areas, yeah, you do.
That destination.
They're taking time off from their personal home.
Yep.
To come, and then you are that destination spot.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. So how'd that go when you like did the when you raised the prices a little bit? Was it still smooth or?
Yeah, you know what? For the most part, like I definitely was still getting some inquiries from couples that were lower end. But I would say like the Chicago couples and like couples traveling here that had some better pockets, then they started having more confidence.
Yeah.
Didn't even change anything in the branding yet. I just got all my new branding.
Nice.
But it was that dollar point. It's so weird. It's like as soon as you cost more money, people believe you're worth more money.
Yeah. You know, I heard something from a really successful business owner when I first started Jelliefish was he was out on the East Coast and he goes, man, I was told I was expensive when I started at $2,500. He's like, now there's certain packages where I have $14,000.
Yeah.
He's like, so no, I wasn't that expensive, but I knew my worth at that time and I knew what I had.
Yep.
He's like, and that's how you need to evaluate yourself. You're not trying to place a price with who you're getting necessarily, or you do, but you need to place a price where you know your worth and your value. You know, when I first started, I think our prices were like $1,400, $1,500, and I knew my talent was worth more, but I knew we had to kind of hit the ground running and go. And plus, I didn't have all the tools that I have right now, you know, or the branding was still just getting established. So I had to know what my personal worth was at that moment. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but I think people appreciate that. And it's funny you say that about like, you know, customers, couples, clients overall, they like the cockiness.
They do.
You know,
they love it.
And I think they love really good branding too. It's like why people buy Yetis.
Yep.
Because you just know it's not really necessarily for the name. You just know you're going to get quality.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, be cocky about yourself because I want to be confident in going into one of the most important days of my life that you know what the fuck you're doing. You know what I mean?
100%.
So, yeah.
Well, and then too, it's just like I started watching a lot of people in the area's wedding films.
Sure.
And I started seeing the same things over and over. And it's not to dog them because there's definitely a market for those types of films. But I was like, man, in this area, there's only like maybe a couple other people that like are doing anything different. Yeah. That is, you know, even unique or something to look at.
Sure.
So then that was it too, just believing like, no, look at your shit compared to everyone else's. Look at just the image quality. Even if everything else sucked, the image quality alone is so much better because you clearly have better camera and you know how to use your cameras better. So it was like once I was confident in that price raise and I was like, listen, this is just what it is.
Yep.
Even couples that couldn't necessarily afford me, they're like, we want you.
Yeah, exactly. That's when you know you've won too.
Yep.
Or people, you know what I've realized too is people who've maybe reached out to you, but they didn't book you, maybe because of price reasons, most likely that was it, but they still refer you.
Yep.
That's like, you know, you're winning. You know what I mean? And that's good. And you're not ripping anybody off. I literally had a bride send me a message the other day and she was, I could tell she was trying to guilt trip me and it didn't work. And she was like, oh my God, my fiance about had a stroke when we saw your first base package. And I'm like, buckle up because we're not even the most expensive. Like you, depending on what venue or what vibe you're going with your wedding, buckle up. It's going to get a lot worse for you. Now, if you do something really, really like low key, sure. Yeah. Then I'm going to be way out of your price range and that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just, I think some people think that this day, like, you know, your flowers should be like $100, your cake should be $3. Like, no, it's not.
So much that goes into it.
It's not. And that's what I started realizing too with our prices was, damn, you know, we're booking out so far in advance and I like it, but I'm talking with these people for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
So it's not just like the 7 hours that I'm there that day or performing, you know, or the 10, 12 hours that it's the day of work. It's the countless emails that maybe you send, mom sends, uncle sends, your sister sends because there's a surprise as she goes up for her speech, or there's a special mix that dad wants to hear. It's all those things in a folder with like 300 emails in there, and you're studying for a midterm the week of, and you have 2 other weddings too. So that's where like kind of the price comes down to in my opinion. You know, if we were just booking people out like 3-4 months out, might be a little bit of a different story, but it's not. You know, it's a year and a half of building a relationship with you, figuring out your vibe, and then making sure we give you the party you deserve.
And that sucks too because your pricing, I always feel like when you shoot the wedding as vendors, we're always a year behind our pricing.
I know it. Yeah, it's true. Because you'll raise me like, yes. Oh, well, I'm not going to see that till 2025. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So
we just started getting inquiries for 2024, and I'm like, fuck, should I actually raise my pricing again just for
that
for 2024? Because it's like there's even if I only shoot 20 weddings, I'm 20 weddings better by the time I shoot your wedding.
Yep, exactly.
It's like
exactly. And things just always change and evolve, and with technology and what you can provide and your own style on it, like prices are just bound to go up a little bit. You know. I remember it was like 3 years ago. I remember a photography company telling me I should be starting at $3K. And I was like, oof, I wasn't comfortable. Yeah. So we're not there at a base price yet. We do offer a live package where it's $3,300, but you're also getting a live musician plus a DJ and all that good stuff. And if you do uplights, yeah, we're close to 4K now. But that's if you're getting uplight, live musician, ceremony plus reception, DJ, you're getting the whole works essentially. And
see, even that I feel like for you is so cheap.
It's it's funny you say that because I do hear that still.
I feel like, dude, well, only because there's tons of DJs out there that they can mix well, and they do a good job.
Sure,
but there's something about just your rig alone and the sound quality that you push forward.
Thanks, dude. Thank you.
I haven't heard anything. Even when there's a DJ that I'm like, man, this motherfucker can mix.
He knows what he's doing.
Smooth. Mm-hmm. But the sound still isn't there.
Yeah, it is a whole package. I mean, I have invested a lot in time to make sure we have the right sound. Yep. You know what I mean? And that goes hand in hand. And I think I tell this to a lot of people. A lot of DJs try to buy some equipment to make themselves look better. No, I want the equipment to match my capabilities.
Yeah.
And I think we've got that. Yeah. You know what I mean? We definitely have that. So it's cool that because I remember that one wedding we did and you were like, shit, man, I can feel it. I'm like, yeah, you should feel it. It's a party,
Well, and you only feel shit like that at live concerts, live shows.
True.
And it's like, man, that fucker hit. And I was like, God damn. Yeah. Dude. I was like, because I think I was standing right in front of your rig and your fucking sub just started. I was like, my fucking heart's going to stop. I'm like, I feel like I'm at a goddamn concert right now. I was like, I'm in a club.
Dude.
And I just referred you to a couple and I told them because they were looking for they want to do an experience.
Yeah.
And they were like, we weren't sure about a DJ because we want to do a live band, but the people we're looking for they might not be available.
Sure.
What do you got? I was like, listen, if you want a fucking club experience, I was like, and I mean you're partying in the fucking club.
You are really partying. Yeah.
You got to hit up Jelliefish.
Dude.
There's nobody else.
Thanks. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot because it's funny you say that too, because that's how I feel about parties.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be like that, and I've gone to venues where they have fucking decibel limits and it's like, get me out of here, even though the people are great there or whatever. But I recently worked up in Grand Rapids a couple months ago and I remember the one guy and you could tell they were just good workers, good people, great spot. But overall, they didn't understand the whole, right? And and as they shouldn't, you know what I mean? They don't know what it's like to DJ. I don't know what it's like to own a venue. So, right. But I remember the guy coming up to me going, hey, just remember, it's a wedding, not a club. And I'm like, I wanted to almost scream at him and be like, do you know this bride told me she wants a club experience?
Yep.
So he's like, well, you got to keep it at this decibel. I'm like, man, let me go to a Foo Fighters concert, tell Dave Grohl to turn it down because, the township has a sound ordinance. Get out of here. No. And I know what Jelliefish and Dave Grohl, totally different. I get it. Sorry, bad analogy, but it's like go to a concert and tell whoever that artist is to turn it down. They're going to laugh at you.
Yep.
Because they're supposed to be bringing in a quality sound in a moment and experiences that you're never going to forget. And that one that you were working at, that couple had an experience.
Oh, yeah.
They definitely knew how to party, number one. Their friends knew how to party, and I know how to capitalize on that. Let's go.
They were probably my favorite crowd this year. For parties.
God, I would say probably this year. Yeah,
they were up there.
They're top 3 for
now,
sure.
I just did one at probably a venue you've done.
Yeah.
They have a decibel limit.
Oh, God.
Even though they had a decibel limit, that crowd was really good too, though. They wanted, I don't know if the decibel limit was actually followed.
Probably not.
Because it seemed pretty fucking loud.
Yeah, man. I've had some good parties at places where there are decibel limits, but it's because maybe it was a smaller crowd and they just got closer to the speakers. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, it is annoying, man, when you have and it's not necessarily their fault. I'm not blaming the managers or the people coming up telling me to turn it down. But it just sucks because all of a sudden you feel it when you turn it up a little bit and you're at 98, 100 decibels, right?
Yep.
Party volume. And they feel it, you know what I mean? And you're not seeing people cover their ears or, you're not making people bleed, right?
Yep.
But then they're like, hey, we got to be at 85 decibels. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's our cocktail hour was louder than that. What are we doing? This is supposed to be a party.
You're really clenching my balls on this.
I know. God, you're really kicking me in the nuts here. Jeez, you're kicking me in the jelly beans. Come on.
What made you want to do weddings?
Yeah.
Did you ever think that's where you would end up?
Never. Not in a million years. Not in a million. It's
Me
not
neither.
Never thought growing up, obviously the kid, as a kid, you want to be a sports athlete or you're pretty good at some, sporting events. So you think you could just be basketball, football, whatever. Then you realize you can't. I don't know, man. I think it never really hit me. Like, I never grew up going, yeah, I want to be a wedding DJ, right?
Right.
Because from the outside, you're like, you're just kind of laughing. But then when you really get into the industry and what's involved, and especially the area that we're in, we have so many venues around here. Like, whoa, it's big market as far as the amount of venues that we have. I think what kind of made me realize that I should be doing this is when I left radio. I was in radio for 10 years, and through that radio stations, they had like a side hustle of a DJ company. So radio pays like poo, by the way. Like, it's horrible unless you're, you know, syndicated. And even then, it's just poo. So left radio, but through radio, I learned how to DJ. And obviously out at Live Remotes, you get really good mic exposure. You know when to take the first exit. You learn a lot about branding and marketing and all that. And that's all stuff that I've needed to make my company successful where it's at today. So, but I got burned out, left radio, and I still had people kind of like messaging me like, hey, will you DJ this event? Will you DJ my wedding? Will you produce my commercials for my company? And I'm like, why am I not doing this? Like, it's very natural to me. I like doing it, you know? I mean, is it like the coolest thing on earth? To me, at times, yes. At other times, it really sucks. Depending on the couple you get or the client that you get or whatever, it's a job. Like, it's still a job. Yep. So I think it kind of hit me after I had like 15 or 16 people reach out to me in 1 year. And I'm like, man, there was like 15 grand I just said goodbye to. Yeah. Like, why don't I use that towards like retirement? Like, what am I thinking? And then it just blew up. And I thought, man, this is what I'm meant to do. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm going to ride this wave as long as I can because I like doing it. I enjoy doing it. And the people like me doing it too. So fuck yeah, let's go. So yeah, but I never imagined myself to be a radio DJ or a wedding DJ. Not one of those. I thought I was going to be like an astronomer, you know, like working for NASA. And then I realized I'm not smart enough and I got vertigo. So I can't do either of those. But I really, honestly, man, as a kid, I never would have thought I'd be the guy. Honestly, as a kid, my parents thought I had a learning disability because I never talked. Yeah. Ever. And everybody in my family laughs about that because they're like, well, that's what you do for a living now. You know,
and you have a really powerful voice.
God bless you. Thank you.
It's super loud. That is fun.
Thank you.
Dude, as a kid, I'll be honest. As a kid, I don't think I ever had any aspiration to do anything.
Nothing. Nothing.
Like just being honest. Like,
you just wanted to be like at the beach or whatever. Or what?
No, I just was never sure. I hated fucking school. I did okay in school.
Same.
Like high school, I did a lot better than like I remember elementary school and stuff. Like I almost failed every grade.
Really?
Yeah, and it wasn't because I was stupid.
Just weren't trying.
I didn't try at all.
Yeah.
Until they were like, you're going to fail. You have a month left of school. If we do all this makeup work, you can I'd do the makeup work and I'd pass. I was never interested. Yeah. They never spoke my language is how I felt. And so, I mean, I thought I was kind of stupid too, if I'm just being honest. Right. But then like money started coming around. Yeah. But not even like making money, like just like, how does the world actually work with money? Like, because nothing ever clicked. Like, it just didn't make sense the way, like, our society with money worked. Yep. And then once I started getting into that, I was like, this is a game. Yeah. And I like this game. Yep. This could be a fun game. And then I always had an interest in cameras and, like, just recording, like, doing YouTube and shit. Yeah. And then my brother had me do his wedding. And I was like, man, this is a lot of fun. Yeah. And then after I put that one out, someone just offered me $1,200 to do their wedding. I was like, boom. I don't even think I'm good with a camera. Right. Like, okay. Like, yeah.
Give it a shot.
So, and it kind of just spiraled out of control there. But
I can relate. I can relate to that because I remember as a kid, my parents owned a bar. My dad got out of like his main industry that he was in, and they just went totally left field, totally different. But I would always, back with a jukebox, literally a jukebox, grab the CD, wasn't the records, but I grabbed the CD, put it in. I would always have to the bikers or the chicks playing pool, they would ask me to put on some music. And if it was a bunch of chicks, I was putting on like Whitney Houston, I was putting on Janet Jackson, Robin S. I was playing to them. Yep. And a bunch of guys, just hanging out. I'd put on Ozzy, Metallica, Red Hot Chili Pepper. I was doing those things. And so I tell people that story. They're like, man, you were DJing before you even fucking knew it, Yep. And I just trying to read the room, So it's funny though, because it's like subconsciously you never thought you were doing that. Yeah. Just like, you got asked to do the wedding, and then you're like, wait a minute, this is pretty fun.
Yeah.
And it is fun. Like, dude, our job is fucking fun.
Yep.
Like, we can have cocktails and complain about moms, like momzillas, bridezillas, but overall, dude, it's a fun job, and we're spoiled with it being that fun. But at the same time, if we don't work like we do, it won't be fun.
Yeah, it's a tough job. Actually, I'm gonna restart the camera.
Do your thing, yeah. The video
you gotta have multiple angles.
Yeah.
We're just, as a society, we are so our attention span sucks. Like, I know mine does.
Yeah.
Like, mine is, fuck, my 5-year-old has probably a better attention span than me.
It's crazy, you know, and it's only getting worse because of just tap, 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 you know, or, you know, who looked at my story?
Oh, my God. So when I edit, I actually have to, I have a charger. All my cameras are on like a nice little shelf in my office, and I have a charger there. I have to put my phone on that charger and then go sit at my computer.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's like every 5 seconds, I'm fucking looking at Instagram or who liked my shit. Especially like once my Instagram started blowing up and getting a lot of engagement, then you're really fucking addicted, because I'm like, dude, I'm getting hundreds of likes and shit now. It's like
awesome. It's awesome, dude.
And you almost get this like
get the dopamine.
Yeah, well, especially because like now Instagram, for if some of my reels get so much engagement, I get paid.
Oh,
so it's
yeah,
like,
I forgot about that.
Love Stories TV pays me. Like, so now it's like, I'm a content creator.
Yeah. Yep.
I got to create content.
Yeah.
And I need to make sure I'm getting so much stuff so I can get paid.
Facebook just asked me to do that. I just started it, like content creator. I'm like, this is
like,
weird.
It is. It's really sure, especially because, and it's, I feel like because it's our area, like just think of it, because like people like us don't really exist. We're kind of a rarity in our area, especially like when I'm going out, especially Southwest Michigan, I'm going out and vlogging and shit. People look at me like I'm fucking crazy all the time. But I'm like, if you only knew.
If you only knew what this helps and builds and brings into my family.
Yeah.
You know?
I can go on vacation, record every single fucking second of it, and write all of it off because I created content with this vacation. And that's where people, and that's that money thing. Like that's where people, like especially middle class and stuff, they just don't get it.
No.
And I'm like, you guys need to understand. It's not about taxing the rich. It's about understanding what the rich fucking know.
Yes. So true. It's like, you know, and I always kind of say the rich will always stay rich. Well, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
They're not dumb.
No.
You know, I mean, some of them are, but at the same time, they figured something out. You know, you can't hate them that much.
Well,
you know?
and the thing is, you can be dumb and rich. You just hire
the right people. Exactly.
And that's what it all comes down to.
Yep.
So go back to the wedding industry. What do you think as far as like DJ services and stuff? Like, where do you see that service going? You know, everything kind of evolves, and I feel like, you know, it went from like just cheesy DJs doing the cha-cha slide. Same thing with like videographers, the tape deck videographers, like kind of everyone talking to it, like, how are you doing?
Yeah.
And where do you see like the next evolution?
Yeah.
Or are you even thinking, like, I'm sure you're thinking of, like, are you trying to at all create the next evolution of like what's big for DJ services?
Yeah, you know, I don't know if I'm like at this point as if I'm trying to like create. My main goal is to continue to evolve with what people are wanting. You know, for example, mashups. Dude, my whole life, not one person knew what a mashup was.
That's the shit.
And if you played a mix, back when I first started DJing, if I would have played a mix that I created or a mix that some really popular DJ out in Chicago, Detroit, LA, wherever, if you play, they look at you like, why are you fucking with my song?
Yeah.
Like that, I want to fucking hear the original song. Now it's, what can you do with this song?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, holy shit, it's cool. Because then you can like really remix certain things or bring back some old school heritage sounds and implement it in with new school. And I love that. Yeah. And I think that's going to continue. I really do. I don't think we're going to be as much TikTok as what people are on TikTok.
Yeah.
I do feel that way. Like even like with some younger, like middle school dances that I do, and I'll like throw on a couple like TikTok dances. They hear it and they scream, but 10 seconds later, they have no idea because they only know 10 seconds.
They only know the soundbite.
Exactly. And it's like, so you can throw those in to mix it and make yourself current. But overall, like it's still some of the most recognizable music that's winning, you know, for now. But I do see it kind of trending towards, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the original sound to a lot of songs in the next 5 to 10 years. It's going to be who remixed it better, like Sick Kick on TikTok or whatever. Like they only know Notorious B.I.G. because of him.
Right.
They don't know the original Notorious B.I.G. or they don't know about N.W.A. or they don't know about Dr. Dre or Eminem, but they know Eminem mixed with Avicii is this, you know? So I do feel like that's going to start trending in more of a popular way. It's not quite there yet, but when you're able to spike it in, it really kind of blows people's fucking mind.
That's my favorite shit. That's when I get the most amped, when you have a good DJ and like I'm hearing a song, and only because I'm a musician, because you don't really see it on too many other people's faces, but like I'll start hearing the next song start blending in.
Yeah.
Like maybe just a beat, and I'm really, my wife, when we first started dating, she used to get so impressed. Like all I need is a bar.
Yep.
And I can tell you
everything.
Most songs. And so like that's all it'd take.
Yeah.
I'll hear the first beat. I'm like, you're not putting this fucking song. You're not doing it. And then
go for it.
And then you start hearing it. Yeah, and that shit amps me up.
I think it's cool.
Especially when it's super smooth too, and you don't even feel like where the change actually happens.
Right there.
I'm like, oh my God, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
He's getting it.
I like it.
I get excited for DJs when it's shit like that.
I like that, man, because that's I'm excited too. Or like this past Saturday I had a wedding. I don't want to say bland crowd, because it wasn't a bland crowd, but they were one of those crowds where you kind of had to spoon feed them. You know, it was just one of those ones where they wanted the cha-cha slide. They only knew how to Cupid shuffle and all that. But it was crazy because that whole night I'm like, God, I'm struggling, dude, for real. Like, God bless it, man. Like, you know, of course we went nuts for Mr. Brightside. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, cool. And I get down with that too.
Yeah.
And look, hey, if cha-cha's your thing, whatever.
I never want to hear that shit again.
I don't like playing it, but I know if I have to play it, fuck it. Let's go.
That was my wife's favorite thing about you at Alyssa and Mark's wedding. And I told her, I was like, listen, couples build their playlist.
A lot of them.
I was like, I guarantee if they want a cha-cha slide in there, Shawn would have played.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Because that was all she kept saying. She's like, man, his fucking playlist was the shit. Yeah. There was not one bad song on it. I was like,
because you know what? You want to know what? Because Alyssa and Mark, they let me do my thing.
That's important.
They gave me a playlist. Don't get me wrong.
Yep.
They gave me a playlist, but they also said, you are who you are.
Yep.
And we hired you for this reason, you know? So
and see, that's where I think you should... Here I go.
Go for it. Do it.
And that's where I think actually you should probably start going, especially with Jelliefish. Not your other guys, but you specifically. And we've talked about this before. Like, you have an exclusivity package. You should almost treat yourself like, because you are though, and like that's the biggest thing. Like, you are like, you're putting on a performance.
Thanks, dude.
And it's like, that's how you should start. Because I know, like, my films, like one of the biggest sections in the contract is I have every creative right. And whatever I create you is what you get. Yeah,
exactly. As you should.
And you should, like, that's what I see, like, especially talking to, like, some of the Lux clients and stuff. Like, that's what they want, too. They want someone who, you just come perform.
Yeah.
They don't want to build a fucking playlist.
It's true.
I want you to come perform. Yeah. You perform your ass off.
Yeah.
And that's what you're getting paid for.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, I want to do more of that for sure. But people, for whatever reason, I don't know why this is, but people, for whatever reason, feel like they have to have an input on some of the music. Like a couple weeks ago, they had no polkas were on the motherfucking playlist. None. Get to the day of, we got to play a polka. And I'm like, no. It's like it wasn't. Look, and I'm Polish, okay? That music sucks. It's horrible.
Garbage.
And I literally, so it was one of those crowds that they were good. They weren't like epic, but they were good. And I was keeping them. And one of my main goals is to make sure that I'm keeping you. And, you know, kill him. I just kind of like, kill him, let's go. And my goal is to make sure that you're not leaving. Yeah. You know, I want to make sure that, like, if you have to go pee, I'm not giving you an opportunity to go pee. You know, I don't want to give you a UTI or anything. No, for real. Go to the bathroom, for real. But, like, anyways, like, that's, like, my goal is, like, as I start to kind of, like, look left and right, like, are people kind of lean? Okay, they're done. All right, hang on, let me switch out real quick or whatever. Then you tell me to play the polka, I'm giving everybody an excuse to leave. Yeah. And it's like, you know, Grandma, I hope you're happy. You know what I mean? Like, and I know I love Grandma too, okay? I love Grams, I love Grandpa, and I think it's awesome that they're there and they're sharing the moment. But this is going to sound so fucking mean, but I don't mean it mean. I just mean it as they've had their moment. They've had their moment.
I tell brides that.
They've had their moment.
Our last Zoom meeting, I literally tell, like, and that's my favorite thing about, especially going into, like, that next market, is I'm very picky.
Sure.
With who I want to shoot. And I tell couples that. I'm like, listen, fuck everybody else.
Yeah, it's
you.
That
is your goddamn day.
You.
I don't care if people helped you pay for it. You're the one getting married. We're supposed to be celebrating you.
Yep.
Fuck everybody else.
True.
Fuck
like,
them.
As a whole, I want to make sure everybody's having a good time. But no, I don't need to play Tool because Uncle Jimmy wants to hear it. You know, or Freebird or fucking polkas. Like, They suck. I'm literally going to I'm going to do the whole sign thing. Stop playing polkas at what? And here's the thing. I thought about this. After that, it fucking irked me so much that I lost the dance floor for like 45 minutes.
It's tough to recover.
It was really, that was a real tough one. And then all of a sudden it came up, the groom's dad, or I can't remember, came up and said, hey, it's somebody so-and-so 46th anniversary. We got to play their wedding song. And I'm like, fuck this. And I went over and, very politely, professionally said, hey, are they leaving now or are they staying here for another hour? And he's like, oh no, they're leaving in a few minutes. I'm like, okay, because I'm going to be honest with you. I just got the crowd back. And if I just got him back, it took 45 minutes. The polka ruined it all. I said that right to him. I said it ruined it all. And I was like, and now I got him back. So if I play this song, they're all going to leave again. What do you want me to do? And he goes, oh, no, it's okay. Just do your thing then. It's like, oh, thank God. Just a reasonable person. But for whatever reason, these events, people kind of think like, hey, take my picture here, take my picture there. Or, oh, you should play my song because I told you to. No. You can listen to that song in your car.
Yep.
I love a lot of music that I'm never playing at a gig.
Yep.
Ever, because it's not going to fucking work.
Yep.
And there are, so if I hear like cliche, like cha-cha, Cupid, wobble, like, oh, they're so cliche, and they are. I'm not going to lie. They are a lot. You know what, though? Fuck polkas. Polkas don't work. At least the cha-cha, it will work half the time. Yeah. So I'm like, man, if you're going to give me a choice, let me play one of them fucking line dances.
Well, the worst part, see, here's what I hate about the cha-cha, too. Other than it being just a piece of shit song.
It really is.
Most people that want the cha-cha can hardly
do
the cha-cha.
Yeah, they don't know how to do it. No.
You can't even just take 2 steps to the left.
They can't.
You just like, I don't want to fucking see it. I literally, my wife, because she's usually my second shooter, she started recording once the cha-cha, and we have a rule.
Yeah.
And she started filming people doing it. I was like, if I could fire you, I would.
Right now.
I was like, how fucking dare you?
You're sleeping on the couch
film
tonight.
The cha-cha. And granted, it was at this wedding, it was the most that people were out on the dance floor. I was like, I won't show any dancing footage.
Because it's already been done.
I don't want to see the cha-cha slide come across my camera ever fucking again.
It's already been, it's been done.
I hate it. It's
Me too.
The worst.
Me too. You know what I do like about that song recently? Because there's a DJ that had a friend share it to me, and it was fucking dope. And I went to do it, and I didn't do it as well as this one DJ. I got to practice it a little bit more. But it was the hands on your knees, hands on your knees, hands on your knees, hands on your knees. And he goes to Megan Thee Stallion, hands on my knees, shake it down. I'm like, oh, shit. Now that's how you do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just how you do it. But here's the thing. This wedding that I was doing, they were dancing to everything, but they were a crowd that they love Cupid, they love wobble, the cha-cha. So as I started playing hands on your knees, and I let it go for like eight beats, right? They all went nuts. And when I went into Megan Thee Stallion, they're like, the fuck? I'm like, oh, fuck. More of it. I fucked it up.
I
was like, damn it. It's like,
wrong crowd.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, damn it. Because next time, if I have a crowd like that, I'm going to play the beginning of it, and then let at least a minute and a half go, and then get to the hands on your knees, then bounce out. So, but still, it's like, fuck, man.
You shot your shot.
I did. Hey, you know what? And that's okay. That's okay. Because if you're dancing for 3.5 hours and you mess up like that, they don't even know. They're drunk, whatever.
What's the worst fuck up you've had at a wedding?
Oh, God, it just happened. It just happened. And it's funny, man. Dude, it's so funny you bring this up because I just ran into the couple at a local brewery around here. And they were like, hey, da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh, and they brought up the fuck up. But they laughed about it. They're like, you were so smooth with it. And we just laugh about it now, And she's like, and honestly, nobody knows. Like, you did it so smoothly that only us and my parents knew. So this is going to sound terrible. First time in 13 years where we go up for the first dance. Grabbed the wrong fucking song. Like, I put the wrong song in the fucking folder. I've never, it's the same artist, but I grabbed the wrong fucking song. When I downloaded it, they had a couple of that same artist on there, and I went over. And as I'm playing the first dance, I'm kind of looking down at my levels, and my assistant's like, Shawn. And I look up, and I see the bride and groom, they're still dancing. She's like, not the one. I'm like, oh my God, I've never done this before. I've never fucking done this before.
I don't even know how to recover.
I'm like, like my hands are shaking, right? And I'm like, fuck. And she's like, not the one. And I'm like, so I like really quickly, it probably happened in like 10 seconds. It felt like 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
In 10 seconds, I go on my iPad where I see, I'm like, oh shit. And I go, boom. And then I just slowly slide in and I just get on the mic. Psych. That's all I did. And I went right into it. But it was like a 10-second smooth transition, just boom. And I'm like,
it's all about how you recover.
Oh my God. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have fucking heart. I'm like, what a way to start the night. Jesus.
Especially like if you're just looking down, chilling, you're like, I got this. This night's fucking
fuck. Dude, it's so fun. I'm glad I ran into him because I was like, oh shit. And she's like, oh, I still haven't left you a review. I'm like, I don't want you leaving a review now. She goes, no, we're going to blow it. Her mom, and her husband all left a review.
Oh, good.
So, I mean, they were cool about it. You know, we're human. I'm surprised that's never happened before, especially with certain couples who change nonstop, and they'll change their first dance songs or they'll change their recessional song, and they don't tell us like in advance. So shit does happen, but that's got to be probably the worst. Even though it wasn't the worst, possible situation, that was 10 seconds. I thought I was dying. I literally thought I was dying.
You were inside.
I was like, no, don't do that ever again. So yeah, outside of that, God, I can't, man. I really don't have any other horror stories, just outside of just really bad, not so nice people.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't my fault, but that one wedding we did, I still have to talk with a couple about this because I want to say I almost want to apologize because one of their guests got kicked out because of me.
Yeah.
But he was with his drink over the board, right? And he was just staring me down like he was going to punch me. And then with my assistant in the front dancing, he started getting close with him. And I'm like, you're done, dude. He's not getting punched. I'm not getting punched. We're not shutting this party off because you're drunk. You know what I mean? So that's the first time I've ever had to do that too. So I think between those two things, I don't ever want to have to deal with that ever again.
So we shot their after party, and she brought it up.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
You got to tell me this.
She, when we came in and stuff, she's like, Brandon, she's like, were we too rowdy? She's like, I heard someone got booted out of my party. And I was like, yeah, someone got bounced out. And she's like, oh, we fucked up. I was like, no,
they didn't fuck
your
up.
guest fucked up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys, you good.
They were fine.
Like, you got nothing to worry about.
They were fine.
Like, you guys had a good time. I was like, that's, when people get fucked up, you're going to have that. You're always going to have someone who sends it a little too fucking hard.
Was that guy there? Was he there?
No, he wasn't at that.
Okay,
so he must not have been that important.
Something. Well, that was the thing too. So I wouldn't have gone that strong had it been like a bridal party member.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if I would have known it had been a bridal party member, I would have went to the couple, said, "Hey, we got to get a hold on this guy."
He was probably one of their friends' dates.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Like nobody seemed to give a shit when he got kicked out.
No
one went and talked to him because they kicked him out, but he went and sat like over in the patio area for forever.
Yeah, like the cops could just monitor that he wasn't coming back in. That was it.
So it was like, and no one went to talk to that guy because we started cleaning up all of our shit when that happened. No one went. So he was probably just like one of their friends' dates.
Yeah, totally.
And probably never again.
Probably.
Because you're in a fucking embarrassment. Like, how do you get that fucked up at a wedding?
I don't get it. I really don't. Like, I've been fucked up at weddings too. Not DJing, obviously, but like actually like fucked up. But you never get to that point because you still know like you're an adult. Like you have to be responsible or whatnot. Like, come on, like this is crazy to me. And I went up to the guys that he was with after he got kicked out, and I went up to him and it was, we're partying still, everybody's going nuts, and I'm just like, hey, I'm sorry, but I had nothing else I could do. I warned him, and to their credit, he goes, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. You're the one in charge, and I'm like, okay, cool. So they understood the assignment.
Yeah.
They get it.
Well, and to me, it's like, why the people working the event do you think that's a good idea?
Yeah,
that's not a good idea.
No.
It's not going to work out.
Not at all.
But, some people, they just fucking, he was probably, because they're young, aren't they?
They're young. Old. No, they're not old. Yeah, yeah. Well, sometimes I feel old and sometimes I don't. So I don't know. I always get confused, like, how old are they? Also, I'm doing a wedding for like a 21-year-old in a couple weeks. Now I feel old for that.
Yeah.
I feel really old for that one. Yeah. But I think they're around our age.
Are they?
They're within like 5 to 6 years. That's around our age, right?
Yeah, but you're so much, like, I feel like you're so much more aged 5 or 6 years.
So true. So true.
Like me at 5 years ago, I was 27.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah, right there. Well, it's just like I was just telling you, like chatting with a girl or whatever, if you're trying to date now or whatever, it's so much different. It's just great. It's just a different reality. It's a different world,
I'd probably be single.
I am single.
Yeah, I would probably stay single.
But you know what's cool about our job though? When you see true love, you really see it.
Oh,
like I that couple, they got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you don't throw down like that if you're not madly in love. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I've been at weddings where you're like, ooh, this might not work.
I've done quite a few where like, especially this year, where I'm like, I don't even know if they fucking like each other.
Yo, it's wild, isn't it? You're like, man, why are you even doing this?
I've done some weird ones too, where I did one where it almost felt like it was an arranged marriage.
Really?
Yeah, like the couple didn't seem about each other. Like the family, the moms and the dads, they were the ones who ended up giving speeches.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how their family's been interconnected and stuff. And like they've always wanted this. But like looking at the couple, like they weren't very like lovey with each other. They didn't even seem to actually really care for each other. And I was just like, this is a weird fucking wedding.
You know, so that's weird. And then you know what's also weird too, and I know you've been a part of all this before, is like when the dad or the mom starts talking about like just their daughter or son. And that's all they talk about. Like they don't talk about, like, I'm hearing about their softball career or their volleyball career or their football state championship. It's like, man, there's nothing about them meeting each other and like, you know, becoming, this is weird, you know, like this is strange. Like that's, stop talking about like their medals in high school. You know, this is their wedding day.
I've had a groom's dad.
Oh God.
I've had a groom's dad that probably talked a little bit too much about his bride, his son's bride.
Oh boy.
Oh
boy.
And I looking at my second shooter at the time, it was a friend, and we're kind of looking at each other. I'm like, they're fucking.
Oh no.
You know it.
God.
Like they have to be,
no,
right? Like
no. Oh
like
my
just
God.
how like he about her, and he was like a single dude. Like I think the mom had passed away or something like that.
Yeah.
But just like really kind of infatuated with his son's new wife and stuff. And I'm like,
God,
Dad might be hitting it.
Cringe. Oh my God.
Dad might be fucking.
Isn't that crazy to think about if that's even true? Oh my God. I'm telling you, man, there's some weird shit that happens at weddings. From like bringing out somebody's like really bad past. It's like, why are you talking about this on the microphone in front of 100+ people? What are you doing? Or one of my DJs, really good looking guy, very fun, outgoing, great smile. He's like the modern day McConaughey, you know?
Oh, God.
And I mean, he's just got it going, right?
Selfish bastard.
Right? Son of a bitch. He's like, he can fucking walk on water, you know, just smiles.
No, you gotta be as good looking in this
water
world.
opens up for him, you know?
Yep.
No, he's a humble guy, you know, he's great. But he'll have brides like fucking really like hit on him. And he'll be like, dude, you know that's not me. I don't boast about it. I'm like, I know you don't, you know? Plus he's got a wife, all that. And he's like, dude, this bride legit leaned in and made sure her tits were coming up on me. I'm like, that's fucked up. That's so fucked up. Like, I know you're drunk or whatever, but that's fucked up. Like, he's like, dude, I'm looking, where is the husband? Like, where the fuck's the husband? I had one bride not do that to me, but I had one bride, like, force me out on the dance floor. And I was like, yeah.
I'm not a dancer.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, no, I'll get down. But, like, you know, it was kind of like the one we did. It's kind of the one we did, you know. She was backing it up. I'm like, man, I got to keep it straight. Like,
I gotta get the fuck out of here.
I am not going to get low. You know, like if it was a different setting, sure, we, you know, like she's awesome, whatever. Nothing like that is going through my mind. But at the same time, like, man, I'm the DJ. I got to be professional. So like when a bride like pulls you out on the dance floor, like they think it's funny, but everybody starts looking like, what the fuck's the DJ doing out here? If he didn't come out by himself, right, to just kind of mix it out there, like getting pulled and then like you're doing a twirl with the, like what the fuck's going on? And I don't want to be that guy.
You don't need that
I
review.
don't want to be that guy. You
don't
know?
need that headline.
No, hell no.
Oh
I'm pushing the buttons back here. And, you know, fist pumping with you. I don't, bad things can happen. But that has happened to me before where it's like, bride pulls me out and then she's like, we've had such a connection. Like, and I'm like, yeah, like DJ bride connection. Like, not like that. Jesus Christ. Everybody's out like in the balcony smoking cigarettes or whatever. And it was just me and her on the dance floor. I'm like, this is not right. Like, this
look.
Gotta go. And then I start seeing people like walking around. I'm like, yeah, I gotta go push a button. She's like, okay. And I'm like, God. Get me out of here.
Dude, some people just get like, and I don't know if it's the younger generation, because like that couple we did together, like the whole friend group, they seemed really like close.
Yes,
but in a different way.
Yeah. They were like MVPs for each other.
Yeah,
like, and that's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
You know, they were so, the bridal party. I'm sure you experienced it at the after party. They were the coolest fucking people.
They were rowdy,
and they were rowdy. At least from my experience, they were rowdy, but they were also really appreciative.
Yep.
Like, they would come up and request, like, oh, if you can't, it's okay. Like, you're killing it. Like, all right, cool. Like, they understood. Yep. I don't know what it was like from your end, though.
Dude, well, so for them, like, as a videographer, I feel like most of the day, you know, we're kind of flies on the wall, like, and we're only really talking to the bride and groom, like, especially during prep and stuff, because, like, we're having them do shit. Yeah. Like, we want them to do shit, don't really talk to the bridal party. But when we showed up at that after party,
you knew it.
The excitement that happened because we walked in the door was like, I was like, what the fuck did we just walk in? I've never had someone, they were like, oh my God, the fucking videographer's here. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. And like they started getting fucking rowdy. I was like, so you motherfuckers didn't talk to me all goddamn day long.
Oh yeah, they were waiting for you.
They were ready.
They were waiting for you guys.
There's a lot of footage I have that I was like, I can't put this in there because they started like once the bride and grooms jumped into the pool.
Yeah.
everyone started stripping.
Yeah.
They're throwing it all off and jumping in the pool. I looked at I was like, we got to get the fuck out of here.
We can't film anymore.
I was like, we got to get the fuck out of here.
We can't film anymore.
Before I have titties or something else on my goddamn camera.
A bunch of good-looking people, too, on top of it. You know what I mean?
We got to fucking go. Because I jumped in with them just to get that, like, that feeling to it, but I was like, I'm going to change and we got to get the fuck out. I was like, make sure no one comes in this bathroom.
Yeah, right.
Because I was like, these guys are fucking lit.
For real?
They might. And then the groom, like, when he hugged my wife goodbye, he goes, I love you. He was so fucking wasted.
So awesome.
She goes, he just told me he loved me. I was like,
yeah,
it's fine.
Hey, right,
I was like, he is literally gone.
Yeah.
I was like, he's been off planet since the first look.
Done.
I can't imagine where he's at this moment. But it's not this galaxy.
No, it's not. Not at all.
Gone.
Man, it's so funny.
I'm gonna pause it real quick.
Do you think?
Because I gotta fucking piss.
Yeah, do you think? Met you. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of the only one I really know of. So
you know who's good that I just came across?
Who's
They're
that?
really good. Brooke and David.
That's it. That's who I was talking about.
Yeah, they're fire.
Yeah, the fuck, dude, he killed that teaser.
Yeah,
like holy shit.
Yep, I like their stuff.
No, they're good. And the way that God, the way you did the teaser, it looked like a Netflix film. I was like, holy shit, you know, it's really cool.
Yeah, we've started interacting on each other's stuff. They're really good. I like them a lot.
And dude, that's how it kind of should be too. You know, I wish I could like, you know, cheer on more DJs too. Like, you don't have to work for me.
Can't do them all.
No, fuck no. It's impossible. Even if I had a staff of 20 DJs, I still wouldn't be able to do them all because this area is nuts.
Yep.
And really just the wedding industry in general is nuts. And there's not one particular venue or one particular vendor that can do them all. You just can't. So I would like to be able to root on other companies, and you know, there's a couple that I can, but that's it. You know, it'd be nice to have a couple more.
Yeah, the only time I'm really going to be salty is if we're like both bidding on a wedding that like I really want to do.
That's totally different, yeah.
And it's like I'm not even going to be like, I'll be salty, but like I'm not going to be salty at the end of the day. Like if that's, you know, you got to pick who you're, because me and their style is completely different anyway.
Totally.
And that's where I get excited is when I do see people like them. They're doing something completely different than I do.
Yeah.
And they're doing it well.
Quality.
And they're getting better and better at it. Because then it's like, you know what? I might not be what you want.
Your style.
But guess what? I know somebody that shoots what you're actually looking for.
True.
And I have confidence to recommend that team.
I'm the same way. You know, if somebody doesn't book me, it's either maybe because of price or maybe I just didn't mesh. And that's totally fine. And that's like something that, you know, we should like talk about too, because like not a whole lot, but you need to talk to your vendors. It doesn't need to just be email. Like at least get on the phone with them, do a little quick FaceTime, Zoom, whatever you want to do. But at the bare minimum, get on the phone with them. You know what I mean? If you're introverted, you're scared, whatever, that's fine. At least hear their voice, hear their personality, ask them a few questions just to solidify your choice. Even though you know you're probably sold on them and you want to, you know, their Insta lines up, TikTok, whatever, right? They're, you know, everything's great. Just solidify it. You know what I mean? Because a good vendor like yourself, you know, us, we don't mind talking with you because that actually helps us out too. Because if we get a good connection, we know this is going to be a nice day.
For me, it's mandatory. You can't even get my price sheet without having a Zoom meeting with me.
I like it.
Because I might not want to shoot your wedding.
I like that.
Even if they have the money, if there's someone that they're like, well, we don't really want you to tell us to do this, to set up a scene or do that. Because like mine, I like building those kind of stories. Like, okay, yeah, we know they're going to do vows in a fucking wedding film.
Right.
I want to set up where you're going up somewhere and writing your vows and showing that shit. Like, if you're not down for that,
it's not gonna be.
I don't want to shoot your wedding.
Yeah.
Because that's the type of shit I like shooting.
Yep.
If you want but maybe I do know someone that'll shoot your wedding.
Sure.
That is good, and I can pass them on to you. Yeah, I won't do someone's wedding without a Zoom meeting.
Or if they're open, at least as long as they're open to doing stuff, maybe adjusting or adapting, then you know, okay, I can work with them a little bit, you know, because that's something that maybe that would be like next, next in our development too, because there's a lot of weddings that I know, like, shit, we were just not a good fit. You know what I mean? Not, I wouldn't say a lot because I'm confident. I had a good combo with a DJ a couple months ago, and he's like, I've reached the point now where whatever, if I get booked, I know I'm going to do a good job. Like, I'm not stressing, and that's how I feel too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it might be like a wedding where one of my other DJs could have been a lot better for them.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Or another just totally different company would have just been better and be like, hey, you know, we really kind of do this type of vibe. You're not going for that vibe as much as I'd love to party with you. I think you're better off in this arena over here.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't reached that yet, but that would be nice to do because then you're setting yourself up for just more success.
Yeah.
You know, that's very brilliant on your part.
And doing and only doing the ones you want to do.
True.
Like, because that's, as much as it is work, I like to enjoy the work. I mean, I didn't quit my fucking corporate job to not enjoy what I'm doing.
All the stability and everything.
And I mean, we went through it. We, like this year, we're cleaning, after this year, we finally cleaned up the loose ends, I'll call them, of weddings that it was like, we booked them, they're not our vibe, but we're getting through it.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, I shot my last one in September of that.
Oh, nice.
So it's like from here on out, unless we evolve and change like what we really want to do, we're shooting what we want to shoot.
Yep.
But we went through it. We went through where we were just booking. Didn't matter. If you had the money, we're going to book you.
Yeah.
And that was that. But then showing up and didn't have a good time.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to do what we want to do. So then editing it too, because editing's my favorite part.
Yeah.
So if I'm miserable editing your wedding film.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I fucked up.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have booked this couple.
Yeah.
Like, not only shouldn't I have not booked this couple, but it's like I also feel like I'm not going to give them, like, they end up loving it.
Sure.
But it's like maybe someone out there would have been better.
Yeah.
And would have gave you something you loved even more.
Yeah.
I'm glad you like what I gave you, but I didn't enjoy making it.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's crazy you say that, too, because I felt like that way this past weekend where a couple was happy, and it was, Michigan State was on. Half the people there went to Michigan State. The other half went to Michigan. Oh my so they're glued to the fucking game. Jesus. So it's really hard to DJ for. And it made me think, like, fuck, I need to start looking at, like, college game day schedules and potentially, because seriously, it was like, fuck, it made it a really long night because of that. And I don't blame the people for watching the game. If I wasn't working, that's what I'd be doing too. But it just was also like, shit, this is a lot harder. And you could tell at one point this guy, and I had him dancing forever. And then after like an hour, they got tired. And I saw this guy kind of grab his phone and kind of like showcase a little bit of an empty dance floor. And I'm right there and he's trying to like, I don't know, go viral or be funny. And I looked at him like, ah. And he goes, oh. And he like went to hide his phone real quick. I'm like, man, don't do that. That's you were jumping up and down 20 minutes ago. Like, that's fucked up. And I thought to myself, man, if I would have maybe scouted this a little bit differently, I wouldn't have been in this predicament.
Dude, that kills me too. Like, because I like sports. I like participating in sports.
Same.
But I do not watch any sports.
Yeah.
I'm not a person that roots for him. Like, besides like Aaron Rodgers, I couldn't tell you who the fuck's in the NFL.
Right, dude, good for you because it's toxic.
Well, and my thing is too is like my whole thing, and like I don't know, I'm different.
It's a good thing.
My whole thing is like, one, whether a team wins or loses, your life, unless you bet, your life isn't affected by any means.
It shouldn't be.
I watch people, like, especially like when I was working in the corporate world, and more so when I was in the union and shit, it's like I watch people get fucking mad in these break rooms and stuff, and like throwing fucking temper tantrums. I'm like, you're a grown-ass goddamn man. You're throwing a temper tantrum over a team you're not involved in, like you actually belong to this team.
Yep.
And I've never got it.
Good for you.
I'm like, you guys are fucking like, the only reason I would watch sports would be for money.
Sure.
To bet money.
That's it.
And that's it.
Yep.
And I don't know sports well enough to fucking do that. But that's just me. I know people, they like their sports.
It's like the biggest thing. It's crazy. Like in radio, I've always said this. Like radio, because it'd be like, how is radio still alive? And I'm, news and sports, the two things that will never die on radio, because people want that instant gratification on what's happening with, like, if it's an election year or whatever, right? So news or whatever the hell's going on in local or nationally, and then sports is like the same fucking thing. So, but you're right about that, because I used to be that guy, I was like 16, and then even that like 22, 23 was the guy like just throwing shit. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, this team doesn't give a they're shaking the hands at the end of the game. Now I watch, and it's just a lot better. Like, when it's like, if they lose, well, I'm a Lions fan, so like, it's like not like I've never seen that before. Yeah. Like, that's all they do is fucking lose, right?
I mean,
that's it.
If you're a Bears fan, a Cubs fan, Sox fan, Lions fan, what is it? The Detroit Brewers? No, that's Wisconsin.
Milwaukee Brewers.
Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, the baseball team.
Who's Detroit? Does Detroit?
Tigers.
Detroit Tigers.
Yeah.
See, that's how
dude, that's good for you. Good for you, though, man.
They're all losers.
Dude, for real. Like, honestly, like, so, I mean, when I was growing up, hockey, Red Wings were like, and they still are like one of the best franchises of all time. So I had that. That was cool growing up with. Now they're not so good.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, at least I had them when it was.
Now, see, I've been to Blackhawks games.
Yeah.
I'll go to a game.
Oh, it's so fun.
That to me is different.
Yeah, totally.
I'll go to a game and watch a game.
Totally.
But I will not sit and watch it on.
Yeah.
We don't watch a lot of TV
Give
anyway.
Or take.
Typically, TV comes on when we're going to bed, and even then, I have my laptop in my lap, and I'm doing fucking work.
Sure.
Because the one thing that matters besides family is fucking money.
Yeah, there's a lot, honestly, dude, and it's a great mentality to have. Some of the most successful people I know, Actually, I saw it was an interest in, not like he's one of the most successful, but Shia LaBeouf, the actor.
Yeah, I love him.
Dude, he's great. He's great. I saw an interview with him, and they were like, "Oh, what's one surprising thing about you?" And he's like, "I don't watch sports."
Yeah.
And they're like, anything? He goes, "No, I don't get off on it. I don't watch it. I think it's a waste of time, and I think people put too much into it." And I was like, wow, he's right.
I give a fuck about sports.
He's right. And I like to watch. I know a lot about the game. I played a lot of sports growing up, but I've reached a point in my life over the last probably 5 years where it's like, I'm going to watch on Sundays, and I want to see some exciting stuff. But either way, it's not going to bother me. Like, Lions lose by 2, Lions lose at the last second. I've seen it all. Like, that's what's supposed to happen.
And I had tons of friends where, like, that instance, like, it'd be a Sunday, and it's like, hey, you guys want to go?
Whole day's ruined.
Do they have a TV so we could watch the game? I'm like, can you fucking TiVo it?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
What year is this?
Exactly.
God damn, we can record that shit. No, it'll be online, bro. I can't.
Yeah,
Are you
can.
betting on the fucking game?
Like, yeah, you can.
How is your life any different?
Yeah.
Whether you see them win or lose.
Yeah, I'm not like a Michigan or Michigan State type of guy, but I do like watching those games. So sometimes, like, if there's like an important game, I'll, record it. And when I get home and I'm trying to like degress, right, and I'm just trying to like unwind, I'll watch the game. Just have something on in the background as I'm just kind of unwinding and figuring out what happened that night, what was good, what was bad. But it's crazy because I used to be that guy, and I'm so happy I'm not anymore. Yeah. I'm still passionate and all that, but it's like, it's a beautiful thing that I started my company because all my attention went towards that instead of a stupid team that literally does nothing for me but lose.
Yeah.
I haven't gone to a game since 2018.
Okay.
If the Lions ever made the playoffs, I'm going because I just want to be a part of that moment.
How long has it been since they've made it?
I think the last time it's pathetic. They've won one playoff game in 60 plus years. It's horrible. So that's why if they do go, I want to be a part of it. You know what I mean? If they lose or not, I just want to be a part of it because I think that excitement would be really cool. Yeah. Just like if I ever go to Europe, I want to go to a soccer game. Not that I know.
That's an experience.
I want to have that experience.
That's different.
So now, like, that's my mindset now. Like, if I'm going to go to a game, I want to have an experience. Just like our events.
Yep.
It's something totally different. And there's a DJ that's very popular, and he kind of says that. He goes, every wedding is a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong. Some of the weddings that I do, it doesn't feel like it, but for real. Kind of feels like, that we shouldn't even be having it. But there's a lot of weddings like we did at White Oak. And it's like, that was a Super Bowl.
That was good.
That was a fucking Super Bowl, and I wish they were all like that.
Yep.
So, I told him, I'm like, hey, whenever you want to party again, you let me know. I want to be there. Like, I want to go.
When I have downtime, I might actually, and I've thought about doing it, I might make them another film. Because I can make a completely different version of it. I'm going
to pay you to make this the dancing portion.
I have so much dancing footage.
I want like 2-minute ones. I'm going to pay you for it because I'm like, man, just blow it up. Make it like a Netflix film.
They were a good crowd. They danced the whole time. Fucking time.
Whole time.
That dance floor was always full.
It was so awesome.
You never see that shit.
Yeah. Dude, it was crazy because a couple weeks they were at a friend's wedding, or like a month later they're at a friend's wedding, and both the groom and the bride were sending me messages and the groom literally goes, I never knew how important a DJ was until my wedding, and now I'm here. This guy blows. So I felt so bad.
What's funny is that friend was the one who introduced us to them.
Oh, no shit.
So then after their wedding and after their video drop, they reached out and they're like, we're thinking about a wedding film. We didn't really think we needed it and blah, blah, blah. But they ended up not booking us because they got our pricing.
Sure.
It was like a month before their wedding. They're like, there's just no
who can budget? Yeah, totally.
Fair. But then I had heard, because they had said, they were like, oh, this is a boring fucking wedding.
Oh, man, I felt so bad, too, because it's such a good group of people.
Yep.
And I remember the bride sending me a message like, hey, we tried to bring it, and it just wasn't happening. They didn't know how to capitalize on it. Yep. And I'm like, that's exactly right. It's crazy that you had that happen because that same couple asked me if I was available, and we were already booked. And then a few weeks later, that date where I was at, I was in Detroit that weekend, I think. And that couple, one of their guests sent me an email that Monday, and he was getting married that Saturday, or it was like the following Saturday, something like that. He goes, hey, we already have our DJ. God, I wish I would have known about you or heard you. Like, I would have booked you ASAP. He's like, what you did was incredible. He's like, but we'd like to book you for the rehearsal the night before. I was like, well, okay, all right. I was like, actually, I am available, so I can make this work. Gave him the prices. Obviously, it was like 2 weeks out, way too much, and I totally get it. I would have done the same thing. But it was such a compliment to like get that. Like this guy, we created something so fun and memorable for even their friend to enjoy, to go, God, I gotta incorporate this in my day.
Yep.
You know, and that's what happened with you with the video too. That's when you know you're fucking on top of it.
Yep.
You know that you know you're not the best. You can always be better.
Always.
But that's when you know you're doing well.
Yep.
And you are giving a great product that people want to be a part of.
Yeah, and it's so many people, I feel like, in this industry, they get into it as a doorway.
Yeah.
Especially, I know video, I don't know so much with, but I imagine the same thing for DJs. A lot of videographers, they think of weddings as like, okay, this is an easy way I can start making money with video until I can make money doing what it is I want to do.
Yep.
Which is okay. There's definitely a crowd for that, because you always have couples that are like, hey, even if you're entry level, we just want something.
Exactly.
But that also then sometimes tarnishes, because you see a lot of that, what actually good shit is.
Yep.
And so, and I feel like with DJs too, like I've seen a lot of couples that had great weddings this year, or could have been really good weddings.
Sure.
But the DJ was where they skimped.
Sucked.
That was where they, and I never realized it either until I got in the industry, how important it is. I'm like, man, these weddings really fucking suck when you don't have a good DJ.
Yeah.
Especially at the end of the night, because by then, I'm ready to go fucking home.
Sure. You're tired.
So it's like, I need that entertainment service to be something to where it's like, okay, I'm revived. Like, these motherfuckers are getting down. Like, let's record a cool, like, party session. And shit.
Sometimes it just doesn't happen. Yeah.
No.
And it sucks. You know, I don't know what it is about the industry or about the profession of DJs, but for whatever reason, there's just so many bad ones.
Yep.
There are a lot of great ones, don't get me wrong. And around our area, there are several to choose from that kill it. And you're going to be fine. There's not going to be any, it's not our company. You're going to be okay. You know, you're going to be great maybe, you know, especially if you vibe with them. But there are just so many bad DJs.
Terrible.
And I don't know why that is. Is it because maybe buying speakers because everybody can do it? Or, you know, like everybody can buy a camera too, but I think they know in the back of their head, well, I don't really have the creative mind to film. And they should think that too with DJing. Like just because you can buy some speakers doesn't mean you know what song should be played next. Yeah,
that is a good, like,
it makes you think, like, why do you think you should be doing this? Like when I did like carpenter work, I knew it's not what I should be doing.
I shouldn't be doing this.
I know.
I shouldn't build shit.
I cannot hold the tape measure properly. You know, I'm hanging shit on the wall improper. You know, like this is the problem. You know, I can't do this.
So,
you know,
my wife is the builder in our house, and I will proudly.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
I am the tech person. I am the computer person.
Mm-hmm.
The other day, she buys some floating shelves. She wants them hung up, and they're just too high. Her ass is short. She's 4'11". She wants them hung up. So then, like, she has to recruit me. She has no choice.
Yeah.
There's 5 total. The first 2, I fucking kill.
Nice.
I like even myself.
Yes.
I mean, their level and everything. I'm like, how the fuck did I do this? I get to the next 3.
Yeah.
I fucked the next 3 up.
No.
Not only did I like use the drill, too big of a drill bit that pushed the wall anchor too far in and stuff like that. And then now we have holes in the wall. It ended up being to where I didn't trust the security of it to where now I had to wood glue them to the wall. And I'm like, we can't fucking take these with us. I hope no one tries to pull this shit down.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. I can't fucking do it. I'm just not a builder.
Same. And there's certain things I can do. I did a floating desk shelf with a pull-out drawer. Fucking took me like 3.5 hours, though. Probably like a normal person got that done in like an hour. You know what I mean? It's like
terrible.
Like, and it's good, you know, but like my dad went to like lean. I'm like, don't lean on it. Like first of all, like, no, it's in there, but like don't do it, you know. But I did a job that was very carpenter-esque, and my work ethic got me to where I needed to be, but I knew the whole time, like, this is not me.
Yep.
And so I wonder why that doesn't happen in our industry, you know, more often. You know, where people just kind of automatically assume, like, oh, yeah, no, I can make it. Or they lie. Like, they think, like, oh, yeah, it's going to be a party no matter what. No, it's not. Like, I know how to throw a fucking party, but if you invite a bunch of duds, it's not going to be a fucking party. Like, I can play all your music you want to hear, all the music that I know it's going to work. But if you don't party, or if everybody you party, but everybody you invited doesn't party, it's not going to be a fucking party. You know, so you got a lot of these, like, kind of wannabes in the industry who are just trying to, you know, do things that they're not capable of doing.
Yep.
You know, I'm not going to go build a house. Fucking thing's not going to last. You know? Jesus.
It's not even going to stand.
No, not even close, dude. No. So I've reached a point in my life where I used to do a lot of everything myself. Like, I'm a guy, I can do it. Nah. If I can't do it, I'm going to let somebody else who knows how to do it do it because I
pay somebody
totally, and I'm not ashamed of it either. Some people, or some even like gals will be like, oh, make sure you get a handyman. Well, why? Just make sure you're happy first. Yeah, that should be like the thing. You should be happy first. Like I might not be able to like hang floating shelves properly, but I can provide a lot more of other things too that you might fall in love with. Anyway,
yeah, I can't hang a floating shelf, but I can give you some money.
Okay, right?
I got some money,
and I'm super creative, and I'm super fun, and da 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 da.
Yep.
So yeah,
I don't know that the whole stigma of being like a man and you got to do everything. Like I've never been
gone.
My ego. It died at 25.
Yeah, I'd probably be around there too. My ex actually, she was more of the hanging the floating shelves and do it.
By all means, I don't care.
She'd paint the walls.
Yep.
I fucking hate painting.
I do too. Fuck that.
Fuck painting.
Have fun.
See ya.
Shit looks good. Good job, babe.
I'm gonna work on making us some money. You know what I mean?
I'll go down on you later.
Okay. Yes. Let's go. Now, that's something like.
Shit. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Let's go. Okay. No, for real. Like you can be good in other areas and not hang a floating shelf.
I don't. Yeah.
Totally fine.
There's dudes out there that they can hang the shelf.
They might not be able to do what you could do later.
They're only making $20 an hour.
For real. That's the thing. And and whatever. If it's honorable work, if that's what they're good at, there's nothing wrong with that.
As long as they enjoy it.
That's the thing. Honestly. Like it kind of boils down to it doesn't matter as long as you two are both happy, you two have both figured it out. But there's like a stigma of like, and that goes for females too. I remember with my ex, I never demanded dinner. Ever. Where like my brother-in-law was like, man, the house better be clean. I better have dinner when I get home. Like, what are we, 1968? What are we doing? Cool. Would that be cool to come home to that every day? Sure, but it doesn't need to happen. Nope. We live in such a fast-paced world right now where everything's like now, 5 seconds.
We're looking at a maid service.
Good for you.
Because, like, and I'm the same way. Like, my wife, for the most part, is just a stay-at-home wife.
Sure.
She comes and shoots weddings with me, and she does some photography on the side.
Yeah.
But she was really only starting to pick the shit she wants to shoot once in a while.
Okay.
But I've been the same way. Like, if the house is messy, like, first off, I ain't gonna bitch you the house is messy because I ain't willing to do anything about it.
Right.
So who the fuck am I to be like, I know we kind of agreed you're the stay-home wife, like, the house should be clean. I'm not gonna bitch at her about that.
Totally.
And so I've talked about, I was like, let's look into, like, we got Molly made by us and stuff.
Nice.
Like, even if it's just like twice a week.
Something.
If you could put that energy somewhere else that makes you happier.
Saying, yeah, dude. Yeah. I actually had to do that recently. Like, I love mowing lawns. Like, I don't know why. Like, I don't like weed whacking.
Hate it.
Dude, I like it. I don't know why, but it's just like something that I really enjoy. But then I unfortunately had a head injury a few years ago, and it kind of kept me from, like, being able to, like, vibration to your head. So, like, the last 2.5 years, I haven't been able to mow a lawn. Like, I could, but at what sacrifice?
Right.
To where, like, I'm going to have a migraine, and then I can't prep for the wedding that week. So you just kind of, like, I'm going to pay someone to do that. You know what I mean? And it's just, like, it is what it is. But there are certain things that I wish I could, like, do. But at the same time, though, your time is so much more valuable when you're a business owner.
Yep.
And I remember my dad telling me this because he's a very savvy business owner. He used to run nursing homes, a very, very good businessman. And he said, man, Shawn, even if you could do that, I would tell you to pay somebody.
Yep.
You're too busy doing things that are more profitable to you
100%
than mowing your fucking lawn.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, I like mowing my fucking lawn, and I'm proud of that. He goes, that's fine. You'll get back to that point. He goes, but just don't worry about it. He goes, you're doing so well here. That's what you need to focus on.
80-20 principle.
So true. And, dude, that goes for, like, everything going for our couples. Like, I think our couples need to, like, know some of this shit before they get involved with each other. If you're, like, living with each other, you guys need to put that fucking down. So us as vendors, when we're doing your wedding, we're not like, like, you guys need to figure some shit out still, you know?
Dude, what kills me is, and I've only had a couple of these, but, like, they didn't live together.
That's huge. That's what happened with mine, to be honest with you. That's what fucked.
Never lived together.
Yeah, the old Catholic way. Yeah.
I don't know how you can make it.
I'll never do it again.
Well, obviously, I mean, not to,
no,
not to shit on you, but you didn't make it.
No, it's true. It's true, man. I mean, we made it 7 years.
Well,
and it's not bad. We were 9 years together. But I knew, like, looking back at it now, if I would have lived with her, we would have never got to that point.
Got married.
And look, everything's like, hey, I wish I could go back. Sure, she ended up being a royal, you know what, and a sociopath and whatever. But I learned a lot from that misfortune and what happened to me and all that. And I know now going forward what's best for me, particularly. So that's good. But, like, yeah, man. I remember feeling okay with the old Catholic way, but then I'm like, man, fuck that.
No.
Like, no. Like, next person I'm with, if I'm getting serious like that, we're living with each other because I want to be like, we need to be like great friends, if not best friends, that can live with each other, because you can have a best friend and you might not be able to live with them.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So if you're going to have the rest of your life with somebody, you need to fucking live with them.
Yeah, you have to. And the thing is, like...
Watch for a lightning strike with my church trying to throw me down.
Oh, my God. we used to actually be really religious.
Okay.
We used to... Like, I was actually one of the lead guitar players at a mega church.
Oh, cool.
And, like, we were super... Like, we don't fuck with church at all anymore.
Yeah.
Like, we are the furthest thing.
Is it just because of, like, the systematic ways, or?
You know, when you just really look at it, like... And oh, my God, here it comes.
Let it out.
So my mom and stepdad are ministers.
Okay.
So if they watch this, they're really about to fucking roll in their grave.
So with my parents.
They can hardly tolerate my vlogs when I curse in them. But, you know, a lot of Christianity is based and built off of pagan.
Yeah.
Like Christmas itself is based off the pagan holiday.
Yeah.
Easter is built off the pagan holiday, Estrus.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus' birthday actually was in the summer, they actually realigned it to line up with the pagan, and all this shit you can find.
Yeah.
And then too, like when you just look at churches, and like we went to a mega church. So,
what is that? I'm not sure if I'm familiar with that.
Like we were on TV.
Gotcha.
Like thousands of people.
Like the healing, like the hand on
we
the...
had multiple campuses.
I got you.
And
I got you.
So, you know, like had some of the limelight as a guitar player for that.
Cool.
Playing on a mega stage, like, you know, every Sunday it was like 10,000 plus people watching play live. And we had to get treated like we were celebrities, even
stars.
though like we weren't. Yeah. Like I would have women like friend requesting me from the church and stuff too that I had never met. I just seen and it was just weird.
Sure.
But everything was business.
Yeah.
Like when you're actually involved, everything was business. We had a coffee shop, we had merch, we had everything, and everything was based off of actually business and not and getting people in and tithing and making sure they're giving their 10% and you know, we had to dress a certain way and I started looking, and it's just like, what the fuck does this got to do with anything?
Yeah. You know, it's sad too because it doesn't need to be that way, but it goes back to what we talked about in the beginning of this. Any corporation that gets to be that big, there's just shady shit behind it, or they're doing things that they're really not preaching. Yep. You know what I mean?
Well, the pastor's divorced now.
Oh God,
he cheated on his wife.
Oh,
dude,
here we go.
It's hold on. Let me make sure we got. Okay, I'm gonna restart the cameras before we get this story started. And we're back.
Perfect.
All right, so to
I can't wait
to the mega church. So 2020 pops off, and it's the beginning of 2020, and we get told, you know, we have this like meeting because anyone that's involved with anything, we have like Zoom meetings and shit, and they come on and they're like, hey, the pastors, we're taking a break. These pastors who used to be there, but they started a church in New York, they're coming in, going to take over for us for a little bit. We got to handle some family stuff. Long story short, I don't even give a fuck. Pastor Dave, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like fuck that officiant at that one wedding.
Fuck him. He started talking to another woman. There was no cheating, just probably talked and went a little too far in conversation. So we're gonna go get our family healed, blah blah blah. They disappear for 2 months.
Okay.
Maybe. Nothing long.
Okay.
Come back. All is well. We're stronger than ever.
Oh my God.
Well, so then, you know, maybe 4 or 5 months go by. We're disappearing again. We don't get told nothing this time.
Oh God.
The other pastors come in, they take over, yada, yada, yada. Well, then all of a sudden, they're getting a divorce. Oh. The pastors.
Boy, not good.
Turns out he has been cheating the whole time.
Ah, shit.
Now, not only did he take back over the fucking church, and he's a pastor while going through this divorce, she starts her own other fucking church.
No.
He's still openly dating this as young as his daughter.
Oh, no.
Chick.
Oh, no.
Broke up her marriage.
Stop it. Oh, my God.
Still pastor. And then, like, the whole, like, because, like, churches work like corporations, too. They have overseers and stuff, too.
Totally.
There's also, I mean, he's got a team. How to handle your social media, like what to say on there, what to look good, and blah, blah.
Except for they don't pay taxes.
Yeah, exactly.
What kind of bullshit is that? Yeah, what kind of bullshit is that?
I'm a nonprofit, goddammit.
Okay.
So like he's fucking this other chick the whole time, still in charge, still running the church to this day. He's starting to now bring her in. His ex-wife, Pastor Vanessa, she's vindictive as ever. Like every day she's posting like while starting a church, and I'm like,
wow,
like what the fuck is going on?
And people look up to them.
Oh my god,
like they bow to them.
They do.
Wow.
And I'm like, do you motherfuckers not see what's happening here? Are you so blind?
Just totally blind to the book, and it's not good. It's not. I've had this conversation with my old parents. Like, I've had a really great priest, being Catholic, in my life, and have really shitty ones. And I know, like, oh god, okay, don't. But it's the truth. And I said, kind of almost goes back to what we were talking about with school. I hated school too. Like, I despised it. Like, when I had the chance to do co-op, I fucking did co-op. Like, get me out of here. Because pretty much outside of maybe 10 teachers in my entire life, nobody could present it in a entertaining way. And not that, like, it needs to be like a...
But it does.
It does, though. Like, you need to make it presentable instead of, like, Bueller, X to the Z to the fourth square. Like, what? Like, make it somewhat enjoyable.
Yep.
So we can retain it a little bit instead of just read it in your books and then we're going to give you a test that says it in 20 different languages, if you will. It's not, but it's like 20 different sentences to really say this, and you're just tricking me. This is fucked up. Yep. Like when I go to like learn something about DJing or about new speakers or whatever, they give it to me straight.
Yep.
And then I fucking learn.
Yep.
Just give it to me straight. So it's the same thing with like, all these other like organizations or like churches when you go in there and this person's a fraud.
Yep.
You look around and you're like, that person's a fraud. That person cheated. It's like, why? What am I learning here?
Well, and then so with them, the evolution of how they dressed. They went from dressing like normal, like kind of pastors and stuff, the cheesy clothing.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like, and this is before the divorce, obviously.
Sure.
But like we have 3 campuses now, and it's like, oh, it's the Gucci belts.
Of course.
The Gucci Shaws. And
oh
like,
my God.
No. 8 different pairs of Yeezys, and
no, dude,
and it's like
doing that.
And it's like.
You can't be doing that when you're in that line of work.
Why am I giving you any of my motherfucking money?
Yeah. Or making me feel guilty.
I want Yeezys.
Okay.
But I just tied that to you. You bought Yeezys off of my Yeezy money.
Yeah. And you don't pay taxes.
Fuck
that. That pisses me off the most. Like, hey, you want to run your corporation, you want to run your organization, that's fine. But you should, I'm like, I've got a staff of 5 people.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You have a whole community behind you. You can't pay a little taxes?
Yep.
Come on. There's got to be like a nonprofit tax. You know what I mean? Like for that style. Something for like the Boys and Girls Club is different. Whatever. Yep. Totally different. Like benefiting the community. Totally. I know the church is supposed to benefit the community, but man, you start seeing some of that stuff. Like these aren't real leaders.
Well, that's the shit that starts going away too, because they used to do all sorts of outreach programs and stuff, and like we'd be in the community, and then like, but as we got bigger, you've seen less of that, and it became like, I mean, we hosted Hillsong United and stuff. Like, I don't know if you know who they are.
I don't, but it sounds pretty big.
They're like, they're a mega church themselves, but they have like they've written like almost most church songs that people even know.
Wow.
Like they came out of the scene in the 90s with like Shout to the Lord. Like they are fucking like we put on we went from doing outreach programs to now we're charging you $50 to $100 to come see this concert of this gigantic ass church church band and stuff. And now we're recording music and we're thinking about doing like a tour and so I'm like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, this is just business.
It is business. It really is. And then it's business, and then it's like making you feel guilty about their business.
Yeah.
At least that's what I learned. Like, I remember when I started my company in my church, with my ex-in-laws, they were like, oh, well, why don't you come for their, like, this weekend? I'm like, okay, what's their budget? He goes, oh, well, you'd be donating out of the kindness of your heart.
The fuck I am.
And I said, I'm sorry, but I'm just starting, and that's taking away actual money that's providing for your daughter, too. I'm not at that stage to even come close to that. And I said, maybe one day down the road, but even then, like, that's my money makers on the weekends. And I'm not trying to be brutal, but hey, guess what? When I go to church, they fucking put a basket around 12 different places to get money too. So they should understand. But they try to make you feel like you're the piece of shit. It's like, no, I'm not a piece of shit. You guys put a fucking basket around and ask for money from everybody and get monthly donations. And fine, that's if people want to do that, it's fine. It's just like going to a game. You want to watch a bunch of people lose. That's fine. That's fine, But it's like, don't fucking make me feel guilty.
Right.
because I'm just worried. I want to take care of myself. You're taking care of yourself. Don't make me feel bad. Like, dude, I've had it where, I lived in a big brick house, huge house, had like the dream home, if you will, and priest comes in, immediately first thing out of his mouth, like, oh, I should be seeing lots of children in here soon. Like, fuck out of here. You paying for the diapers?
Right.
I said that. I didn't say fuck out of here, but I said, you paying for the diapers? Paying for tuition? Ex-wife just poof, hits me, and I'm like, it's true. Right. Is he going to pay for the diapers? Because he's not. So stop telling me to have a kid.
Right.
It's fucked up, dude.
Dude, well, and I'm not Catholic, and but man, the Catholic Church to me is the most fucked up.
Dude, yeah.
The most.
It can be if you dig deep.
How the fuck do you have your own, like, country? The Vatican.
The whole thing. I mean, which I do want to visit, by the way. Like,
it would be cool.
Experience, for sure.
Yeah.
But, dude, if you dig, and again, it goes back to...
That's a moneymaker.
A corporation moneymaker. You go to church, you're like, there's a lot of damn gold in here.
Yeah.
Real gold.
Yeah, you ever been to Notre Dame?
Yeah. Oh, my God. Gorgeous.
The Basilica? Like,
oh, my God.
I just need a chunk.
Stunning. Like, It literally does take your breath away, and you do want to be a part of that, but that's how they get you.
Yep.
Kind of goes back to the cockiness.
Yep.
It's like everything's tying in here. It's weird. Because it's like, how the hell... Why am I, like, I'm giving them money. They're like, wait a minute. I don't really have a whole lot of money. Like, I get like an extra $300 a paycheck at that time when I was working in my life, and I'm giving them $20-$50.
Yep.
Wait a minute.
Well, that's I'm glad you said that, because it is the poor
who give the most.
Yeah. Yep. In churches. And, as soon as those families need something, it's crickets.
A lot of the time.
A lot of the time, depending on the church.
I think now it is. Before, I think they were, like you said, before it was a little bit more community driven. Yep. Yeah, and it's just not anymore. And it's fucked up. It should be. If you're going to be like a nonprofit, you really need to be community driven. And I know they would like combat us and say, we do this, but you look at the eye test or the smell test, you're really not. You're benefiting off of telling people how they should live and taking their money.
When you got like a $50,000 LCD screen to like show the words, you ain't doing shit.
Or they buy a billboard.
Yep.
Fucking billboards are expensive.
Yep. You
got money in your marketing campaign to buy a fucking billboard?
Yep.
You're all right.
Not only to have it printed.
Yeah, dude.
But then, the rent, thousands a month.
Easily.
Depending on the billboard and the company.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's just such a farce.
I can get down. I'm okay because running my own business, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I get what you're doing. You know what I mean? I get the branding. I get the little subliminal, branding that you're doing. But don't treat us like we need to bow to you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, if I voluntarily go there for advice, totally different.
Yep.
But don't make me feel guilty if I'm not there. Like, I remember one time going to church. It was at Christmas, and working weekends, I know I could go. Like, if you want to do something, you always do it, right? Like, it's just, I get it. But, like, working late and then trying to get up on Sunday morning to go to church, that's not happening. Not when you fall asleep at 5 a.m. or whatever. But I remember finally going to a Christmas, mass, and the priest looked at me and goes, oh, so you're the husband. Oh, so nice to see you. And he, like, you condescending asshole. You didn't have to say it like that.
Yep.
Now I'm never coming back.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. Like, and not that it matters. Like, he's doing fine without me. I know that. Whatever. But it's like, wow. Why'd you even say that?
Piece of shit.
How about just, hey, nice to meet you?
Yep.
Done. Merry Christmas.
You're getting a check, right?
Yeah, like, how hard is that? Like, I'm pretty sure my ex-wife was still, sending in monthly stuff. Like, why'd you have to be like that? Because you feel superior to me? And that's the problem.
They do.
That's the problem.
They do.
Fuck that. It goes for a lot of things in a lot of different industries, organization, even in our own industry. People will try to, like, outdo you and feel like you're superior, and they'll try to, like, make you feel like you're stupid, and you shouldn't.
Yep.
You should be not feeling that way at all.
And that's, like, I've always, I'm the type of person, like, I don't care if you're the president of the fucking United States.
Neither. Same.
I'm not impressed.
Same.
Do not give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't care who you're a human. You put your pants on just how I do.
You go to the bathroom.
Figure it out how to do it both legs at the same time.
Right. Man, tricky.
Which, let me know it. Let me know what the trick is.
Right.
And that's a problem I have with society in general. It's just like the superiority complex.
Sure.
It's like people just like think so highly of themselves, corporations, everything. It's like, oh, do you know who this person is?
Yeah.
Give a fuck.
Yeah.
Don't care who that person is.
Don't care. Don't
inflate their ego.
No, not even close.
Because then they start believing there's something beyond what you are, and you're just as capable as they are.
Yeah. It's true, man. It's just weird, too. Like, society, just people in general, and we see a lot of it. It's like almost like working in retail. You see a lot of it in our industry, and you see a lot of like, this is why we are how we are, you know, because they're not getting the whole picture, or they're not figuring it out, or not understanding that they should have a phone out during the ceremony, and they're in the middle of the aisle because they think their phone picture is better than the videographer or the photographer. It's like, shut up, like stop, like you haven't figured this out yet. Nobody's gonna look at, you know, the makeup caked on your lens when you post it to Facebook 100%. And Instagram later. It's just, our society hasn't figured it out in so many areas, but they are allured by some of the stuff that they shouldn't be allured by. Like, I get treated differently because of the car I drive. That's fucked up. Yep. I don't need that car. I like it, and I set out a goal and I bought it, but I don't fucking need it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Or when I had a really big house, people like come over to work on it, like plumbing, whatever. Hey, I got a family to feed. Whatever you need done, let me know. It's like, you know, so do I. Like, I got this house because I work my fucking ass off. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, we work our ass off for this. Like, we didn't just have it. You know, we're not just born into it, at least not for us.
No.
You know, fuck that. You know, and like the car I got, like I've got that because I work my ass off. And if I need to sell it next week to make more, I'll do it. It's not like I need that shit, but I don't understand why people want to just automatically assume things about somebody just off of certain categories, if you will.
And it's just the praising of it. Like, yeah, it's a badass car.
Sure.
Bob's shirt came with a badass price
tag,
too.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, fuck yeah.
And it's like
more than my damn mortgage.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, actually, I don't want that fucking payment. You go ahead and have that goddamn car.
Absolutely right, dude. And everybody, to each their own. It's like when a new venue pops up. You know, we have one locally around here, and like the locals are like, "Oh my god, I can't believe somebody would spend that much money on one day." What is it to you?
Yeah, what's the matter to you?
What does it do? Are they asking for your money?
You didn't spend that money.
Nope.
Don't
churches
worry
though.
About it.
Church. You know, but seriously, like, they're not asking you for the money. You know, some people buy cigarette boats that are $2 million. Other people buy an Audi. Other people buy more stuff for their kids.
Yep.
Some people want to have a wedding venue like that.
Yeah.
What does it matter? It doesn't fucking matter. But like you said, our society and system is just, I don't know, it's like polluted almost with certain ways of grasping things. And I can get deep down into that thought process, and we're really just like a grain of sand, not even, you know, in this whole world, in this galaxy and everything. And it's like, stop wasting your time on the shit that doesn't matter. And I almost try to implement that with our couples.
Yep.
I was like a month ago, bride was like, Shawn, did you make the mention of the bus? I'm like, yes, I did. Like the shuttle bus. I'm like, everybody booed me. You didn't hear it? You know? And she's like, oh, I didn't. We got to make another one. I'm like, girlfriend, I was like, is it on the pamphlets? Like the stuff that you sent out? Oh yeah, it was on everything. They're adults.
Dude, I got booed at a wedding.
Did you really?
It was the best thing ever.
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything. So we were...
It's so funny.
It was just like some random dude. We were shooting at Blue Chip Casino. I'll never forget. Like the DJ decided to introduce everybody, and like he was like, "This is our videographer, Brandon Wilson Films," and you heard one random person go, "Boo!"
What the fuck?
I fucking lost it. I thought it was the best thing ever. I was like, "Dude, somebody fucking booed me."
That's
I was
so
like, "That's
funny.
amazing."
Oh, it's funny, man.
It's so good,
man. Working in radio, you'll get that, man. You get like at first you're like, oh yeah, I love you, I love listening to you, and then when you get like good, then you get people who really like criticize you or whatever. I had someone troll me the other week. I haven't been on the radio in like 6-7 years. Somebody's like, man, you were like a robot on the radio. I'm like, I've never heard that one before, but okay, thanks for listening. It's like,
you're like a robot.
Like, well, I'm not a damn robot.
Well, let me hear how you do.
Okay. / I think you might have been confusing me with somebody else, because that's my personality's a little bit, you know, I can be flamboyant almost with how my personality is. I'm structured, but I'm not gonna be like, you know, this to this to this, you know. Anyways, so people are just the way they perceive things, hear things, see things can be totally different than like a creative, which is what we do. Very, very creative, and it's totally, totally different, you know?
Yep.
And people, this is why people still like the Cupid fucking shuffle. Or the cha. I'm serious. Like, they don't know any different. Like,
came back.
I'm telling you, like, I hate it too, but it's like, man, sometimes people, that's all they know. That's the only thing you're going to dance to, and it's sad.
All right, so before we go, what kind of advice would you give to a new DJ? Maybe they're just interested in becoming a DJ. They love music. We obviously know there's a lot of fucking Joe DJs out there, but like, what would you give to someone who's like genuinely interested? Like, what do you think a good piece of advice would be for them to start getting into this service?
Yeah, I would say, you know, look into real quality DJs and do your research on them throughout not only the state you're in, but just the country and even the world, you know, to kind of see what other territories are really benefiting from, whether it's Canada, Antigua, you know, Michigan, Indiana, Chicago, whatever. You know, look into those companies that are profiting. They're not full of smoke. They're legit. They're not just boasting. They're real. I would look into them, what they're doing, and then how you can incorporate their kind of business model or their style into what you're naturally good at. You know, if you're a guy who, or a person in general who's not comfortable with being on the mic, well, don't tell your customer that you're the best person on the mic in the world. Don't. You got to be honest with them. That would probably be like my number one thing outside of looking into other corporations that are just killing it, right? Is I would look into what you're good at now, honing in on that skill, and then learning how to get better at the other areas. So if you're really good at knowing the next song to play, which is like the biggest fucking thing to do in DJing, is knowing what song to play. Don't worry about the BPMs. Worry about what is the next song, because the crowd has no idea that you're at 88, 128, they have no idea. Just fucking play the next good song. Worry about your blending and mixing later. You know, that's what I'd probably do first, was make sure that you know how to get to the next song is as effective and as smooth as possible without driving yourself insane. Well, whoa, it's not the same BPM. And then realizing other companies around the world, in the country, and what they're doing so you can implement it in your own way.
And then anyone who's interested in having Jelliefish DJ any type of event for them, where can they find you?
Yeah, jellifishproductions.com. Jelly is spelled with an I-E, so it's Jellie. And then .productions. That kind of replaces the .com, but we do have jellifishproductions.com, so either way. Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, website, email, call. You can still call me. I still enjoy a good old phone call. So, you know, you can call 269-377-1674. So.
Perfect. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise.
And we will see you in the next one.
Thanks, Brandon. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Oh.